Recent studies have shown that more than 6 out of 10 children face extreme poverty in South Africa. Worse still, the effects of extreme poverty on children will have lifelong consequences.
Greetings to the Do More team. We spot on target. The Do More distribution, the nutritional porridge, just great work done and made possible by you guys. So, all good, and thanks again.
Today, we are talking with Kopano Mabaso, the Executive Director of GrowGreat, around a topic that has been on many people's minds lately. That is the levels of stunting within South Africa post COVID-19 and the long-term impact this has on the future of our country. Kopano, welcome and thank you for joining us. So, what exactly is stunting?
Stunting is a condition that results in children being short for their age as a result of chronic malnutrition, which simply means not getting the diversity of nutrients that you need from pregnancy, so from when the baby's in the womb to the early years of life. And it results in children not growing well, so as a result, they're short for their age. But what's really concerning is that not only do they not physically grow well, but their brain doesn't grow as it should as well.
So, why is this such a worry in South Africa?
Yeah, so there's lots of evidence and research to show from around the world following children who suffered from chronic malnutrition or stunting, that stunting really robs children of reaching their full potential. So because children's brains don't develop well, so the brain is very complex and needs a complexity of nutrients. And so as a result, these children struggle at school. They're more likely to drop out of school. They're more likely to live in unemployment and poverty as adults. And so this is really shortchanging children, already robbing them of a chance of having a fair start in life, even before they've had the chance to start their life, even before they've had the chance to try. And why it's particularly concerning in South Africa is that we're an upper middle income country, but we have very high levels of stunting, much higher than would be expected of a country with a GDP such as ours. So higher than our other developing country counterparts like Brazil or Senegal or Ghana. So 1 in 4 children, 27% of children under 5 are stunted. And we've been sitting at these levels for about the last 10 decades. So it's clear that if we don't start doing things differently, we're going to continue shortchanging a quarter of our children, even before they've had a chance to start their lives.
Do you think that the impact of COVID will, make these numbers skyrocket or make things worse?
Absolutely. I mean, there's been some really interesting research that's come out during the pandemic, particularly the NITS CRAMP survey, and they show there that child hunger has increased and that we have set ourselves back almost about 10 years as a result of both the lockdown, but the impact of COVID in general on our economy. So it's clear that we can't just do more of the same even post-COVID because we've already lost ground and we can't spend another decade just getting back to where we were. We need to think smarter, build back better, be innovative because there's a lot of catching up to do. We've lost a lot of footing and children as a result are suffering.
So what happens to young children that are already stunted?
We hold at the forefront and firm and foremost that a child should never be written off, right? Children are amazing in terms of their own resilience and their own capabilities. And we should continue to invest in the children we have because it's very expensive to try and mitigate it. But there are mitigation mechanisms. So things as simple as reading to a child. I mean, reading, is both an opportunity for you and your child to bond, to share language, to engage, but it's also really stimulating for the brain. There's some research to suggest that reading is kind of creating the scaffolding for numeracy, for maths later on in life. So it's really an incredible gift as a caregiver that you can give to your child. And those kind of things, stimulation, early learning, play reading, have been found to mitigate, to minimize the impact of stunting. But of course, at a population level, we want to prevent this, right? This is an easily preventable condition if we just apply ourselves, put our minds to very simple, basic primary healthcare programs that can minimize stunting.
What exactly can we do to stop this number from increasing?
So, one is to just inform ourselves. I must say, even before I, got really involved in this particular work, and even as a medic, I knew very little about the impact of malnutrition on future generations and the economy. I mean, this is actually a threat to economic development. So really want to just equip ourselves with knowledge. And we are on GrowGreat have tons of resources. So if you come to our website, growgreat.co.za, there's tons of resources. But then there's also policy opportunities. So as South Africa, we're doing really well in terms of primary healthcare. We've got almost everything in place, all the right policies. Our child support grant is a fantastic intervention that really does have an impact on the nutrition of children. But we're missing a trick. Really, the window of opportunity and where you're going to get the highest returns of investment is pregnancy. It's only 9 months, but that's when, in those early years, that's when most of brain development is happening. But we find that as many as 1 in 3 women are suffering from depression and poor maternal mental health. And that's also, been shown to link to food insecurity, unemployment. Many women, pregnant women, particularly now in the pandemic, are suffering from hunger. We know historical studies have shown the same. Low birth weight is a risk factor for stunting. So we really need to support vulnerable pregnant women in that period. And there isn't. We don't have any form of social security net for poor, vulnerable pregnant women in South Africa.
Kopano, do you have any final messages for our listeners?
Yeah, I mean, I think, as South Africans, we're resilient. We've overcome so much. And we've had generations whose legacy it was to kind of, overthrow apartheid, create a new South Africa we love. But now is our opportunity to create a legacy. And that legacy should really be ensuring that not children in South Africa don't only survive, but that they thrive as well. And I think that can be a great legacy for us as this generation. So do visit GrowGreat and be part of a movement that's trying to ensure that no child in South Africa is denied the opportunity to reach their full potential.
Thank you, Kopano, for highlighting this critical issue. Let's hope our viewers take up your call to action and take your message to heart. That's it from our side. If you have any questions or comments, please pop them in the comment section below. And don't forget to follow along the Mzansi Edge journey around the edge of our beautiful country.